Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and a little birdie has told me that Newcastle might have just been given a little bit of money. So the first thing that we thought we'd do is, of course, make a YouTube video on it, a Football Manager YouTube video, where we simulate what might happen in 5 seasons at Newcastle when they've actually been given some funds to spend, and according to the rumours, it's going to be a lot of money, and that's going to be represented in this simulation too. And let's just say, if you're a Newcastle fan who might already be excited, this video might get you a little bit more excited, because it is, well, you'll see what happens, but you're in for a bit of fun with this one. Here we are with Newcastle in FM21. Obviously, there's no way fully of knowing what they're going to look like in FM22 in terms of their financial situation, but my idea here is we've just edited a few things in the editor to better represent how they might look in real life. So I'll show you how I've gone about that, but firstly, I'll just let you guys know that there's going to be 5 seasons in this. We're going to take a jump to the second season, I think, so the end of the second season, see what kind of transfers they've made, how the club's doing, and then we'll simulate the other 3 years, and I'll see you at the end of 5 years to see over a 5-year period, half a decade, how the club has got on without Mike Ashley at the club. Now, I will just preface this by saying, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding this takeover regarding the background of the owners. We're not supporting any of that, but you know, we're here in Football Manager. It's just a game at the end of the day. We're just going to simulate how Newcastle might do with a bit of money, basically. So the first thing we did in Football Manager to better represent the takeover was to enhance Newcastle's reputation from a 3.5-star club that they start at to a 4-star club. It's not that big of a jump, but what it will mean is they can attract better calibre of players, which they're probably going to be able to do in real life now that they've got that financial backing. I've then used a little pencil in Football Manager, the editor, to give Newcastle a front-end sugar daddy, so that's someone that if there is a big debt, he's just probably going to clear it, and if they get into any trouble, he's probably just going to step in and sort it out financially. We've then gone, and it's hard to really know how much they're going to pump into the club, because I know they are super rich owners, but the question still is, are they going to put that much money into the club? I know there have been talks from some of the higher ups at Newcastle saying that there will be money to spend, so I've kind of balanced it out. Firstly, we talk about the club balance, so that's basically what's in the pot that they're going to have. I gave them £300 million. These numbers aren't fully accurate, but you can imagine they've got plenty of money in the bank ready to pump into the club. But how much of it is actually to be used? Well, we've given £100 million worth of transfer budget and an increase in wage budget. Again, the numbers aren't going to be exact. I'm not saying Newcastle are going to go out and spend £100 million, but the chances are if they wanted to bring some players in, the funds are going to be there. So I'll say it one more time, but please don't take too much interest in the exact numbers. Basically, they've been given money to spend, and that's what they're going to do. I've not given them a crazy amount. £100 million is pretty standard if you're a Champions League team in Football Manager after a couple of years in game. If you're a PSG or Man City, this is the kind of transfer budget you have pretty regularly in Football Manager after a season or so. So I don't think it's too much of a jump to say these owners, whose wealth has been talked about countlessly in the media about how big it is, I don't think it's that big of a jump to say that they might put a similar amount of money into the club. I don't know whether it's actually going to happen, but that's what we've done. But the other thing that we have done is we have used the updated teams update that you can get for Football Manager, which I've done in a previous video. If you want to see that, feel free to check it out. But basically what it means is if we go and just quick pick the team, there you go. You can see Joe Willock's in the team, who is a new signing. He is here permanently from Arsenal. I know they had him on loan, but he's now permanent. I don't know what other business Newcastle did. That's probably half of the problem with Mike Ashley's ownership, I suppose. But we're going to simulate 2 years now and see how Newcastle have got on. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Let me know what you think about the takeover in the comments down below. Are they actually going to spend this amount of money? What players are they going to sign? Who might be their first signing? That kind of thing. But let's jump ahead a couple of years and see how we get on. Okay guys, here we are, the end of season 2 here at Newcastle. 2 years have passed since you last saw them. Plenty of transfers have been made, and I actually think some of it is very good business. And you can see Newcastle are in 8th place. In the first season, I think they finished 5th or 6th. We'll have a look in a minute, but that got them into the Europa League, where they've gone and won that within 2 years. They beat Leeds in the Europa League final. As you can see, we're sitting pretty on around 55 points, at a similar level, to be honest, to Leeds. I've been using a pretty standard tactic, nothing too crazy, but the team has been doing quite well. We can see top scorer in the league is Callum Wilson still, so not much has changed there. The 30-year-old is still banging in goals for Newcastle, but a few signings have been made, and I know that's what you guys are here to see. So let's go and take a look at the players that Newcastle have bought in. So we're here on the transfer page. I won't talk about sales too much in this video. You guys can take a look at that if you want to see. But the first signing that they did make was Brian Rodriguez from LAFC out in the MLS. Around £11 million spent on the youngster. The young Uruguayan he's not had a great start to his Newcastle career. It could be another Almiron situation, I don't know, but doesn't seem like that was the best first signing. But a signing that I can definitely get behind was a signing of wonderkid centre-back Boubacar Kamara from Marseille. Is it that he plays for? It is Marseille. £44 million splashed on him in that first transfer window, a significant portion of the transfer budget that we did give them, and he's played pretty well for 2 years. I think it's a good signing in terms of the long term for the team, but at least the game isn't broken to the point where they've tried to sign Ronaldo, Messi, Dybala, whoever it may be. Luca Pellegrini has also joined at left back from Juventus. He starts off loan listed or transfer listed, I believe, at Juve, and they wanted rid of him. £17.5 million isn't a bad deal at all for Luca Pellegrini. Bit of an all-rounder in that left-back position. I think that's a pretty good signing as well. Then, to partner Kamara at the back, Milenkovic has been signed from Fiorentina. £30 million splashed on him. A player arguably about to be in the prime of his career in the centre-back position. 7.12 average match rating in his latest season. He has been a great signing for him. And a new back line, pretty much, in the fact that they've got Pellegrini, Kamara, Milenkovic, and then they've gone and bought a new right back too in Ryan Nyambe. He has joined from Blackburn. It actually looks like pretty good business when you look at the attributes on this player. A physical monster in that right back spot. And that completes a brand new back four for Newcastle. One thing I will mention as well, they've signed this guy, Tim Akinola, from Arsenal. I actually played with him in a school match for our school team. He was in the year below and he got boosted up to our year. Used to play in our football team. Doubt he remembers me, but there you go. Tim Akinola is in our team as well. The director of football has gone a bit crazy. If I haven't mentioned already, when we are simulating, I'm not doing anything. I've left everything up to the assistant manager and the rest of the staff. So director of football is handling transfers. We've got a technical director in charge of a staffing situation. And of course, the assistant manager is handling the training and the match day preparations too. Then it comes to the most recent season, the second season, where they didn't spend as much money, but I think they brought in some pretty good quality players, as you can see on the right. Fair few sales this time around as well, about £20 million in sales. But they have signed arguably one of the best midfielders you can sign in Football Manager at the start. Sandro Tonali has joined from AC Milan. £40 million, potentially rising to 70. Big chunk of cash spent on him. Carlos Alenia, the ex-Barcelona player, Alenia, I don't know how you pronounce it, ex-Barcelona, was at Getafe. He has now gone and joined Newcastle. They've gone and got a new goalkeeper, Gregor Kobel, the Swiss international, has joined from Borussia Dortmund for £5 million. Other than that, no major transfers. They did loan in a couple of players in Curtis Jones of Liverpool, which I think is a pretty good deal, and Moussa Wagwe of Barcelona. So 2 years on, that's the kind of signings they've made. It's allowed them to not only finish in a Europa League spot and then an 8th place position, which 2 top half finishes. I know a lot of people think that Newcastle fans expect their team to now win the league. I think most Newcastle fans would agree. Anything like that where they can just see the club building towards something would be more than enough. And yeah, it's nice to see them rising up the table. And of course, they've added a Europa League to their title cabinet. Nothing in the other 2 clubs. But with that being said, we may as well just simulate 5 years in now, see how they've got on. 5 years after their initial takeover, so I'll see you there. Okay, Newcastle fans, I hope you're sitting comfortably because your team has gone on a bit of a mad one. Now a 5-star reputation club. They've just gone and won the league in their 5th season. It's actually the first time they've done it. They've also won a different competition, which we'll talk about. One nice thing to see though, before we go and have a look at the transfers that they did make, the facility situation when we started the save, I didn't go into too much detail into it, but basically the situation wasn't looking good. All the facilities were either average or one higher than that, nothing special. Now they're all at a very good level. The stadium's been expanded, the owners keep pumping money into the youth level, the youth facilities, the training facilities. But not only have they won the league, they've actually done something a little more exciting than that, which we'll talk about in a second. But first of all, I'm just going to use this opportunity, just because it is a Newcastle video, to let you guys know that my first Football Manager 22 save on my channel, which you can find linked in the description, when FM22 comes out, the first save that we start recording is going to be a Newcastle save. I originally planned it as like a, fighting against the board and trying to get signings in when it might be a sticky situation. Since then, a little takeover has been announced and it might be a bit more of a fun save. Who knows? It might be a shorter one at least, because it seems like we might have a lot of money to play with, but when we originally planned it, that wasn't how things were going to be. But if you want to check out a Newcastle save, feel free to subscribe to my channel ahead of FM22. It would really mean a lot if you just check out at least the first video when it comes out, see what you think. So if you could hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. I'll shut up about it now and show you, before we see what the team's gone and done, I'll show you the transfers that the director of football and the board have made to improve this club. And I mean, they've gone pretty heavy in the transfer market. This 3rd season, £150 million spent, nothing bought in. They've bought in Chukwueze from Villarreal, Kubo from Real Madrid, Max Aarons, Ronaldo Araujo from Barcelona. He's gone and became one of the world's best centre-backs since being at Newcastle. Moussa Barrow has gone and joined on the left-hand side. A few other signings in there too, but I'll mainly focus on the biggest ones here. They then went and sold their goalkeeper that they signed from Dortmund to Arsenal for £25 million, and then they went and outspent the amount that they bought in by a long distance once again. Alexander Isak was bought in from Real Sociedad, where he has been banging in the goals since joining Newcastle. They bought in Luke Thomas from Leicester for a pretty pricey sum, to be honest, but he does look like a very good left back. Sandri is in as well, and that completed season's 4 transfers, pretty much all the important ones anyway. Alan St. Maximin has left the club, Brian Rodriguez has left the club for a pretty significant loss. But, I mean, they bought in some great players this summer. Mark Van Hamel was a player bought in from Genk, who is arguably the best wonderkid goalkeeper in the world. The 20-year-old Belgium has been outstanding since joining. Angel Gomez has joined from Lille. Frimpong has came in from Bayer Leverkusen. And they even went and signed a transfer-listed Bukayo Saka from Arsenal for only £3 million, which is great business, but really poor from Arsenal to sell him for that much when he was a consistent player. I believe he wasn't signing a new deal with them, and he decided to join Newcastle. And this team that the new ownership has built has gone a pretty far distance. Not only have they gone and won the league, they've actually, let me just find it for you, history, competitions, they actually went and won a Champions League in the 4th season, and then runners-up in the Champions League the season after. So very, very impressive. Consecutive Champions League finals in season 4 and 5. That only took 3 years to get there. Arguably, they never brought in a real world superstar. They were signing £30-40 million players and developing a pretty good young squad. Now, again, I wasn't in charge of anything. This was a director of football choosing these players, bringing them in. In that time, the facilities got upgraded too. The stadium got developed. We ended up winning the Europa League in the 2nd season. We won a Super Cup, FA Cup, nothing there. Carabao Cup, nothing there. We've, of course, just added our first Premier League title since 1927. The club has came a long way in the last couple of years. It's meant that I'm now on the favoured personnel list next to Callum Wilson, which is great to see. Callum Wilson going down in the history books here at Newcastle. So, yeah, this has been such a fun video to make. It's just a quick one, a quick simulation. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, feel free to like the video, comment what you think about this Newcastle takeover down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel ahead of FM22 if you haven't already, so you don't miss any of the latest Football Manager videos. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.